Okay, so I just got out of watching I Know What You Did Last Summer, which is the sequel to I Know What You Did Last Summer. Yeah, they're doing the requel route. Just like Halloween did, where there's a sequel called Halloween to a movie called Halloween. There's a sequel called Candyman to a movie following Candyman. Scream. A movie that's following Scream. Now, I Know What You Did Last Summer is following that tradition where it's basically a legacy sequel. We're following a new group of characters, and then the OG legacy characters, they basically have to help them into this debacle that they get mixed up in. Very similar to the first one, like where you just see certain shots where you're like, yeah, that's just like the first movie. But yeah, and it does follow I Know What You Did Last Summer. I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, but it retcons. I think it's called I'll Always Know What You Did Last Summer. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but that movie stands completely on its own. It doesn't follow the storyline. It's like an anthology urban legend route. So that stands on its own. That movie is retconned from from this story. So it just follows I Know What You Did Last Summer, and I Still Know What You Did Last Summer. So here we are. Going into this movie, if you follow me for a while, you know I'm a big sucker. I have a soft spot for slasher movies. I was going to see this regardless, but I was not very hyped going into it. I was just sort of like, okay, let's see what you got. I mean, like, there was a time where the past few years where I'm like, okay, all of these other movies are making a comeback. So when is this going to do the same thing? Now it did that. And arrived at a time where I was still on the hype train for another movie. If you follow me for a while, you know what movie that is. But the fact that I owe this to myself because I love a slasher movie almost as much as anybody. So I'm like, okay, this is finally happening. Let's see what they got. And it didn't. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be like really watered down to the point where it may be tied with that forgettable retcon, you know, like I know What You Did Last Summer movie that doesn't follow anything to do with the story. But to a degree, I was wrong. I mean, like these characters did keep my attention, where I was like, okay, I wasn't blown away. The scares didn't make me fall out of my seat. I was just sort of like, okay, it's gonna happen here, isn't it? Come on. And it happens there. It happened like I called it like almost 98% of the time. One time where I'm like, oh, okay, I stand corrected on, you know, like this part here. Still, when the jump scare took a shift to where I thought it was gonna be, I'm like, no, it doesn't happen here. And then it happens in a whole another sequence or whatever. That wasn't like, oh, not once did I think that, but it did make me go, ugh, like just a couple times. And I do really appreciate like Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. coming back. It was cool to see them again. I was really looking forward to when I was going to get to their scenes where I'm like, now I feel like I'm really into this world of I Know What You Did Last Summer. Like when they mention those events, and then boom, there's Julie, there's Ray. So I was just like, okay, now I feel like I'm stepping back into this world. Man, like I have an appreciation for it, but at the same time I'm like, ugh, it's okay. I wasn't like, whoa, I was really wrong. This is amazing. No, it was just okay. Nowhere near as bad as I thought it was going to be. And the newbies, the new cast, the new kids, I'd say they carried the movie pretty, they carried the movie pretty fine. They weren't dislikable. I mean, like they were likable more so than they're not. Even the one that is sort of like supposed to be the least likable ones, I'm like, they're okay too, I guess. But yeah, and then we get to the third act, and I'm just like, Okay, what? Okay, what? Huh? That that was my reaction. If you've seen the movie and you're wondering, okay, yeah, that was me. When you get to the third act, I'm just like, what? Huh? Uh, I don't know how I feel about it. I'm not in love. I'm not in love with it. I'm just like, okay, it's gonna be a divisive one. But I'm like, I don't know. I don't love it. But that all being said, the requel, I Know What You Did Last Summer, gets maybe I don't know, maybe a very subtle, a very subtle 5 out of 10, maybe a 4.5. I'm stuck around there. Maybe a 5, maybe a very subtle 5, not a strong 5. I mean, everyone did their jobs well. I didn't think the acting was crap. The writing was okay. Third act, wasn't in love with it, and there is, you can't trust movie these days not to do this. You gotta sit through the credits. Well, a mid-credit scene. Um, I mean, a lot of movies do that these days. We need to get away from that. I mean, I'm not saying this wasn't a waste of time. I'm just saying in general, like, can we just stop that? I mean, I sit through credits. I like watching credits. Like I'm that weirdo, but I'm like, it's not everyone's cup of tea. Having a scene in the middle of the credits. But I don't know. If you're excited to see the movie, I'd say check it out. Watch how you handled your expectations. You may not agree with me and you're like, this was amazing. Or you may not agree with me and you're like on the opposite and you're like, what do you mean it wasn't that bad? It was completely garbage. You gotta decide for yourselves, but it was okay. I don't know. That's it, guys. So if you like this video, thumb it up, subscribe, notification bell, the whole shebang. Let me know what you thought of the movie if you plan on seeing it and you did see it. I'd like to know what you thought about it. I don't know. Let's talk about it in the comments. No spoilers. Just let me know if you agree with me or not. Okay? All right. I'll see you guys in my next video. So until then, take care. Bye.